So, hi guys. Um, I'm not sure how it works, um, but I hope it works. We are starting our today's webinar. It's about independent testing and describing it as a new opportunity, a new business opportunity in IT field. I do hope it will be interesting for you. I do want to inform you that it will probably be a bit like sales webinar. Yeah, it's not mainly about what is testing or what is quality assurance, as we usually do it in our webinars. It's mainly a webinar about why it's cool, why it's good, and why it's a great opportunity to propose quality assurance and software testing services to your potential current contacts. So, in terms of general rules of our webinars, as usual, QA Test Lab makes webinars. We making it on YouTube. You can see to the right side of your screen, like the dashboard where you can write the comments. If there'll be any questions or you want to say me something, you want to, I don't know, anything you want to write, you can write there. I'll make sure to answer you during the process of the webinar, or I'll answer you after the webinar actually. So feel free to do it. It shall be good. And in terms of the webinar itself, it will be recorded as usually YouTube does, so you'll be able to rewatch it on our YouTube channel, and you will be able to share it with your friends afterwards. So let us start. As I mentioned, like software testing is something not really common on the market, and I believe we are not only company in the world surely who makes independent software testing, but it's really not such common. Main part of the companies are doing like software development and proposing it to others. And before starting to talk about why it's great opportunity to propose IT services to your network, your database, your contacts, I believe it's important to mention what QA Test Lab is and what we do in terms of what we are proposing. You'll be able to see our like general presentation for sales reps, sales representatives. Don't be afraid. We are not proposing it to you right now. We are just it just contains a lot of useful materials, and actually I didn't want it to change it. Sorry, it's because I'm a bit lazy. So in terms of who QA Lab is. We independent software testing providing company. We are located in Ukraine. We are cool, great, big, and so on, so on. We the most important things which I should mention is that we are focused on software testing. We are not doing software development. We are independent software testing provider. It's really important because it differs us. Our approach to proposing our services to the customers is completely different to the approach software development company are using. So it's really, really important stuff that we are independent software testing company. You also can see a lot of different great, interesting things about QA Test Lab right here on the slide. So in terms of QA Test Lab, we also have 5 departments. That's great ones. They are led by great people, and that's web, mobile, game, e-commerce, and we divide test automation as a separate one, but actually test automation engineers are capable in performing test automation in all other departments. I believe it's also important just in terms of the industries we are working with. I believe you can see that it's almost all the industries which are somehow connected to software development. It can be from like simple websites to complex banking systems and regular. We are not testing hardware, but in terms of software testing, we are covering almost everything. So now we are coming to what and I believe where we are working and where we usually try to find the support in terms of sales. It's all the regions. We are interested in working with Europe, North America, Africa, Australia, Middle East, South America, and any location you would like to work with, because we are quite open. I believe independent software testing is something that every big company or every medium-sized company may need, and that's great opportunity for all, and such companies exist in all over the world. Yeah, the world has changed. IT companies are over there, and we just have to take it and to get some income from it. So I guess now we have to come to why I believe it's really cool and it's really important stuff um, to work in this business approach. As you know, or maybe you don't know, we constantly are looking for sales representatives, sales partners in different regions, and these are the regions of all over the world, as I mentioned before. And why we are looking for them? Because I believe that if you are located in some specific city or country, you already know the mentality, and you will be able to sell better than any other guy or girl from remote will do it. It's just usual and simple stuff. It works like this in almost in every industry. But why I believe it can be interesting for everyone, because actually sales representatives are receiving the full support from QA test lab, from pre-sale activities to any other stuff like promotion, some printed materials, organizing the visits to conferences, etc., and it's really cool. It really works well. I believe we are currently working with like three like main approaches. Yeah, three main factors why actually companies all over the world may be interested to work with us, and why from the other hand it can be interesting for our sales representatives to work with us. First of all, I believe it's that we are independent software testing company. It's maybe a bit funny, but it's really important, because every software development company has testers, and every software development team will include every big software testing team or software development team will include software testing engineer who will be working inside this team. But when the business needs some product, some software product to be developed, they always involve such team. It doesn't matter if it's in-house team or it's some vendor who provide them with software development. This software development team will have its own interests. Yeah, definitely they'll be mainly targeted to like complete the project in time and complete it with maximal possible quality according to the existing time frames and budget. So when it is close deadlines, QA inside the team will be also interested to close it in time. They can ignore some bugs, they can ignore some defects, and they actually can never mind about even critical bugs, because they have just to actually to pass the software to production. From the other hand, if QA Test Lab is involved to the process, if any other company like QA Test Lab is involved to the process, like independent software testing company, we never care for the first leg. We never care about those deadlines here of software development team. We surely care about the deadlines business have, and we make our best to perform job quickly and with maximal quality and so on. But our first aim is to find all the defects. So we're concentrated only on this fact, and we'll never say to the business that okay, you can pay for this and work with this software till it has some defects, and we'll always inform them about this. So that's why it's important to hire independent software testing provider from I believe it's the most important thing. And that's an opportunity to sell this service always, because even if the company already has software development team, they'll be able to hire an additional team of testing engineers who will be testing the product. From the other hand, if you are selling, let's say, software development, if this customer already has software development team, they will not hire another one. Yeah, they already have one, so it will be difficult for you to sell for them software development, but it will be easy, comparatively easy, to sell them independent software testing in such case. And that's why I believe it's cool. It's a big chance to come to big companies and sell them it. Even for those ones who already have vendors, for software development, it's absolutely okay for them to hire an additional team, especially in terms of like user experience and user interface testing, which can differ from team to team, from security testing, and if you're hiring as many teams as possible, as your budget actually makes possible, even better your product becomes, because each team will test it in a completely different way if we're talking about independent testing. So that's why it's always cool for such a big companies to hire QA Test Lab or any other independent software testing provider. In terms of other factors, it's actually, I believe, we prefer not to talk about like pricing, but really it's important to mention that in software development, prices are a bit higher than in software testing. Actually, it's the market situation. The testers, in main part of cases, there are surely cases when software testing costs a lot as well, but in main part of cases, the prices for software testing engineer are lower than prices for software development engineer. And when you are purchasing software development team and you're purchasing with them testing engineers, the price is the same for the whole team. It's usually a usual approach. And it will be higher than usual price for software tester. Yeah, and when you're hiring it from independent software testing provider, you're receiving the price for QA only, for QA team or for QA person who will be working on your project. And this price will be different, and will be different in better way for the customer usually. So it's also always easier to sell with cheaper pricing if the quality is the same, or I believe higher, and if the volume for business is much higher. So that's why it's cool. That's why it works. In terms of like who we actually mainly prefer to work with, I believe there are also three like main groups of people we are working with. It's first of all, it's salespeople, surely. Yeah, it's people who are working in IT field or somewhere around in any other field, but want to get additional income, get additional connections, additional opportunities to earn money. They can come to QA Test Lab, yeah, and say, okay, we would like to propose your services. We will provide them with all the infrastructure they need, and we'll give them an opportunity to sell the services, and for every deal they're receiving the commission, the fee. So it's something every salesperson do, and that's why they can be interested in. And as I mentioned before, it's the chance for them to get to big companies with those independent software testing proposal, because they can get the customers they never could get without QA Test Lab or without any other independent software testing company. And it's a chance. It's a big chance when you already sold to the company something. Let's say it was independent software testing services. After that, you have connections inside the company. You already know like business people from those company, technical people. You already know some legal guys, and it's easier for you to propose them another opportunities in future. It doesn't matter. You can propose them if you're working in like mainly in localization testing or localization field. You can propose them those kind of services. You can propose them software development services. You can propose them design, etc. It will be easier for you to get some additional deals after you already have the contacts. And the opportunity to receive those contacts and to receive those first deal is really, as I see and as we believe, it's really independent software testing services. So the second group is like project managers and business analytics who might be interested here to work with us. I definitely know that you guys, such guys, gals, will never work in they'll never make like cold emails or cold calls to trying to propose someone independent testing or any other type of services. They already have job. They already have a lot of stuff to do on this job, and it doesn't matter for them yet to. They don't want to get those new big customers, something like that. They actually not don't care about to find new customers. They care mainly to work with existing ones, which their sales teams are bringing to them. It's okay. But I know people from this field. I have friends from this field, and I know that from time to time you guys receive the like questions from the other companies or from your neighbors to like, could you please recommend me the guys who do like, I don't know, art design for games or software testing or development, I don't know, for mobile, for iOS and Android. And if your current company doesn't do it, you usually recommend some of your friends or some companies you've been working with before, and so on, so on. You always do this, but you never monetize it. The only monetization you surely you can get I don't know, some kind of bottle of whiskey from your friends who have been recommended by you. That's good, that's great, and that's something we should do. But in some cases, you can get better, you can get more. You can just make the same introduction, but receive a big commission from the whole deal during a year, if it was recommendation to us. So that's something we do propose, and that's the way we're already working with some people with such titles like program managers, project managers, business analytics, and it works. So if you are from this field, you are more than welcome to try. We are always glad to support you in this, and it's a cool opportunity, I believe. And the next thing, an important one, in the next group, I believe the biggest one and very interesting one is founders and CEOs of small businesses. I know the guys who are running the businesses, they are extremely busy. They completely gonna do something, a lot of stuff to do around the business, a lot of stuff to do around the production, a lot of stuff to do around the legislation, around the accounting, and so on, so on. But still, we have some cases when such people of such titles have been and already and are working with QA Test Lab as our partners, and who are recommending us to other companies, who are connecting us with other companies. It mainly it mainly people who are working in the field of like information technologies, or from the field which is close to IT, like, I don't know, like marketing or localization or something like that, because such people have a lot of connections in the field. And as well as those PMs and BAs I've been talking before, these people are can propose such services to those companies who are coming to them with the request from the other hand. And from the other hand, as well as the salespeople, they are able to go themselves to some of their current customers or to their current just connections from the field and propose them those independent testing services. And it's a chance for them also to get some new business, because we are doing, let's say you are proposing like design services, but you never knew how to get the contract with the company. You can go to those company, sell them those independent software testing service. It's easy. We'll support you and we'll help you in this field. And then you can come after you've been starting working with them, having a contract for independent testing. You'll receive an opportunity to talk with them more directly and more concretely about proposing them services which your company is responsible for. And it's a chance. It's a big chance, and we have such people working with us. That's great. I believe that's three main groups who are working with us. In some particular cases, we are even considering an opportunities, because the network grows currently, and we see that it's a big opportunity. We are considering a chance to create local offices of QA Test Lab in those cities where our sales representatives are located. If sales rep is active if he or she really wants to grow and really able to work, we are absolutely okay to propose them like a position of director of those local office to create office for them. But surely, first of all, they shall provide us with some results, with some deals, with some real cases when they were helpful for us as well as we are helpful for them. That's how we work, and that's what we propose. I believe also I shall like mention such a stuff like some challenges. There definitely will be some difficulties because, first of all, as well as software development sales, um, independent software testing services sales has its like sales cycle. You have to spend some time to generate your leads. You have to spend some time to generate some first deals, and it can take like half a year. It can take more sometimes. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean yeah you have to work for the full time and trying to close the deal like for 8 months and you'll receive nothing. No, you can work like 1 hour per day or like 3 hours per week. It depends on how much you want to be involved in this field. And in case of like business analytics and project managers, you even can work like 0 minutes per year, but receive a couple requests and recommend us. Surely, it really differs from case to case. But you shall be ready in general that this like referral contract, referral partnership will take some time because before it will start proposing, bringing you some real projects. That's the first. The second is definitely that you will need to understand the specific of the field. You will need to understand the specific of the service. You will need to understand how we usually sell it, how we propose it. You will need to know about the service and at least about the company, yeah, to try to propose it this company to someone. And surely it's something you shall do. It's something that takes time. So if we are talking about people who really want to sell it, yeah, not just to recommend, but really to sell, to receive a new business, to generate really big amount of income, it's really something which can take time from you. So you shall be ready for that. It's absolutely okay. We will be supporting you on all the steps, but you shall be ready surely. In terms of, I believe also important, yeah, to mention, by the way, yeah, look, we have customers. We really are proud to work with big companies, with the smaller ones. It's all the cool guys from different industries and fields, and we have a team of smiling people, except me. Yeah, I'm not smiling on this slide. I don't know why. And we have already a lot of sales representatives in different locations. You can see it. I have to mention that there is no Turkey in this map, but because like a few months ago we just made a deal with a very good guy from Turkey who really helps us with sales, and that's a really great example of a new sales representative we just received. And the guy who been running localization services business and now works with Creators Lab, we are proud to work with him as well, surely. And you can see that locations are very different, and we are working in all the regions. There's also no South America countries on this map yet, marked on this map, I mean. But I have to mention that like a few weeks ago, we closed first deals with sales representatives from Chile and from Colombia. So we are having them there as well, and we are looking for the new ones. We consider South America, Africa, Middle East as really big locations for us and very interesting ones for us because to be honest, our sales team is mainly our internal sales team, I mean, is mainly concentrated on like Europe, Israel, and South America, UK, and all the other regions we hope to close to work with this region with the help, first of all, of our sales representatives. So that's something we are looking for. and we are waiting for your, I hope, like requests and your interest to get and to start working with QA Test Lab. Yeah, here you can check like the next steps of how usually we start cooperation, and and then we'll check the YouTube. Yeah, we have a couple questions from Yelena. Yelena asks, what's the average duration of the project? It really differs. There are some projects like for 40 hours, like one person works 40 hours. It's small mobile application, yeah, let's say. And there are projects for like 10 people working simultaneously during the years for some company. So it really depends on the project, on the industry. Let's say in the banking field, it's usually bigger projects. In like mobile development, it can be different. In working with digital agencies, with smaller ones, it's also not a big ones. So it really depends. And the question from Jose Koval, how does the cooperation looks from a legal side? Usually we, thanks for the question, by the way, interesting one. I haven't mentioned it during the presentation. We usually propose to sign like referral agreement, like referral partnership agreement. This means that our sales representative will be working with QA Test Lab on contractual basis, and the contract will summarize on which commission base we are working with. We are not proposing like basic because we believe it's first of all important to provide some results, and we are spending also a lot of time and a lot of our resources helping our sales representatives as well, and we are not charging anything for them surely for that, but from the other hand we receive them to be able to work on the commission basis. So when the first deal is closed, according to this contract, we are paying after the money from the customers are received, and we are receiving it each month during the whole duration of the project. We are paying to our sales representatives this money according to their commission. The commission varies actually depending on partners' involvement to the process. Let's say if it's just a recommendation, the commission is smaller. If it's complete involvement to the sales process, to the negotiations process, signing the contract, and project communications afterwards. I mean, like issuing and supporting with invoices, controlling payments, receiving feedbacks. So the commission is much higher, surely. The question from Daniel, what are the best directions for sales? I believe, thanks for the question, surely, mate. I believe there is no best direction. As I mentioned, I believe there is like a desire to work in this direction. If you are living in any country and you know that there are some industries, or you have already connections from some industries where the people or the businesses may need such services, you're able to go and sell there. So there is really no location I would recommend as a like preferable one. I know that let's say if you're talking about remote sales, surely it's easier for us to sell in like our time zone and some near-shore locations because we're able to speak with them, we're able to go on site for a couple of weeks to them, we're ready to come to their offices and so on. If we're talking about sales representatives, partners, yeah, who are working in different locations, I believe each location of such gal or guy is just great opportunity. And the question from Alech, who is better to contact to PM or CEO or CTO? A good question, thanks. I believe if you're asking about yeah, from the position of sales representative and the point of contact from the company, who is better to reach to close the deal. It's definitely CEO and CTO, surely, but you know, in big companies and even in medium-sized companies, it's not such easy to get the attention of these people. Yeah, and surely there is LinkedIn, and you can go to LinkedIn, connect with them, and try to sell them remotely. But the biggest thing that they're receiving a lot of such requests, and in such cases, it's sometimes really better to go to like project manager, I don't know, product manager, and to speak with her or him and to agree on something. Because in medium-sized businesses and big-sized businesses, usually even if you're getting to CEO or CTO, they still transfer you to those PMs, and you'll be proceeding with at least technical talk with them. And this means they will make a big decision about if you are technically compatible with their business. I mean, QA Test Lab is, and the things you are selling are comparative with their business. And the decision of CEO or CTO will be just maybe more from business side if it's okay in terms of like budgets and deadlines and so on. But it really depends on the business. If it's small company, it's easier to get to CEO and CTO. It's better to talk with them. If it's a bigger company, sure, try to speak with CEO and CTO, but never mind, you can get a good connection with PM, with some VP positions, with some even salespeople sometimes are helpful. Not really always, because we are trying to sell something. We are not trying to buy something usually, but sometimes they can connect you with the right people. So it's you can just try. Lech, here will be the slide. With my contact details and my colleagues' Ostap contact details. You can approach us via the email or via Skype. It's convenient for you, and we'll be glad to answer all the questions and to speak. And the question in terms of partnership, is there any other form of training provided? Yeah, definitely. We have a lot of materials which shall support you in educating in terms of independent testing and in terms of sales. We have a specific webinar record where you can check how we propose and how we usually do it in QA Test Lab and how we propose to do it for our sales representative. You'll be also receiving almost 24-hour support here from our partnerships team. So you'll be able to ask any question and we'll be glad to answer. And also we're sharing a lot of scripts and such a general information which shall be helpful in terms of support. So all the education will be provided. And also I believe like once per 2-3 months we'll definitely organize kind of online trainings as well for all our existing representatives who wanna come and get some new knowledges. So we are quite open to that, and you'll receive a lot of support in these terms. Okay, guys. Thank you for watching the webinar. I don't want to spend much of your time. We really made it cool and comparatively quick. I hope that it was useful for everyone. I hope you'll come for our further webinars. This one was mainly about sales. The next ones will be mainly about quality assurance. The closest one will be about quality assurance for startup with one of our former clients, good friend of mine. It shall be a really cool one. Never miss it. Please, we'll keep you updated in terms of YouTube channel and our Facebook and other social networks pages. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for coming. Have a very good day and have a great weekend. Please feel free to write to our contact details you can see on the slide. Bye.